Braz, obviously, you had a pretty good game at the plate for both games, and you got the save in the first game. What was it like to have that much of an impact on those first two games?
Really just a blessing. Like I said, it's been a dream of mine for a minute to be able to, especially as a freshman, have an impact on this team in a positive way. And just the fact that I performed that well and, pitched that well, just I really loved it, and it was just a blessing for me because I was able to help my team. So, yeah.
What'd you guys see from your bullpen today? They got used a lot. Just what'd you see from them?
Yeah, I saw a lot of guys that were ready to come out and make an impact. No one looked like that, like they weren't ready for that moment. Everyone was, came out and pounded the strike zone and did what they needed to do. And when we got some arms down right now, and so we really need to rely on all the healthy guys to be able to come out and do that, whenever they're called on.
Yeah, I second that point. The bullpen is probably our biggest question mark as a team, I think, from a media perspective, and I believe that Coach Parker is, working his butt off, and the pitchers are working their butt off to, improve and, be what we need them to be. And today was, they came to fruition, honestly. They pitched really well. Aiden Hunter pitched really well. Who else? Cade. Sweat came through, didn't even know he was pitching, and he came through and did what he did. Hey, I think they're all just putting in work, and it's all come to fruition. So today I think we're just a start.
Brass, you drew a lot of walks this weekend. What do you credit the good plate vision to?
Really, Coach Kaye. Coach Kaye, when I first got here, I'd go in the batting cage and swing at everything in BP, and then, he might yell at me a little bit, but then it ended up helping me in the long run, just being able to translate BP, taking pitches and taking close pitches and not swing at everything, it kind of helps translate to the game. And just knowing that when I'm at the plate and also feeling comfortable at the plate as well. When I'm up there, like I said, the first couple games, some ABs I felt like I was a little rushy, a little like, deer in the headlights a little bit when it came to that. But now that I think I'm more settled in, I believe that my eyes getting a lot better, and I like to credit Coach Kaye for a lot of that.
Both of y'all played both of the full games. Was there any kind of fatigue going through it, or did you see just what was it like to play, doubleheader this early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely fatigue going into it. We play a lot of games, and to have two in one day, it's something that we're not used to. But we've done it before, and we're gonna have to. I imagine at some point we'll probably do it again. And it's something you just got to battle through. And that's why getting your rest is so important, and getting good food and just being ready for that, because it's a grind for. We're at the field before 8, and we're gonna be leaving probably after 8. So, it's a super long day, but we just got to be ready to do it anytime.
Yeah, it was a marathon. And then, like I said, I'm a freshman, so this is my first time even playing 9-inning games, and we played 2 9-inning games, 18 innings. Whew, yeah, I didn't feel it until like the last probably 2 innings, and I'm like, whoo, man, we've been out for a minute. But at the end of the day, if you just focus on competing and everything like that, like that's what I did today. I just focused on competing. You don't really even think about it like that. You honestly just feel it when you're out in that field, and the pitchers are pitching well, and you're not really doing anything. That's when you probably feel it. But if you just at the plate or when the balls come to you, just think about you got to help the team and make sure that they don't come back or anything like that. You don't really feel it as much. So yeah.
Andrew, obviously you're a veteran on this team. What's it like to see all these freshmen producing behind you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's rare to see this many guys come in and right away be able to make an impact. There's always a learning curve, and it seems like for a lot of these guys that learning curve has been shortened a lot. Especially guys like Braswell and a lot of guys you saw today, Messina and Carson Hornung, and some of the pitchers as well, like Aiden, and there's a bunch of other guys I can name too. But it's really cool because you got at the end of the day, those guys, you can't rely on just all the upperclassmen. You got to have some of the younger guys come in, and that's part of the equation to having a really successful team is having the young guys step up and play well. Thank you.
Thank you.